Hey folks, I have a Nerdwork Network Computer Enthusiast Master Race back in store for another Enderal video. Just picked up where we left off. We currently have a fever, I'm guessing the magic that we're using and all of that stuff, so gotta sit in this chair and see if this guy can fix us.
Gruntrudes. Ah, here we go.
Guntroot.
So, let's see. Sheer cap, some water. Ha!
Wish we have some good music playing.
I can't make any promises, but...
Finn, the still.
Whoa!
Do something, damn it! Do something! Oh.
Whoa.
Oh, sod it.
Do I really have to watch every step you take? That was a fucking close call.
Bad language.
Hey, I'm sorry, alright. We'll pick up a new one in Ark.
Yeah,
I'm alright.
painful.
Am I gonna die?
Here I thought this bloody day couldn't get any worse.
This day isn't getting any better. Here, drink this. It'll help you. See? You already look a lot better. Still, you should let a priest take a look at that fever as soon as possible. The grunt root potion will wane in a few days.
Thanks, but what in the blazes just happened there?
What? You mean the still? Bad quality and too much heat, I'd wager. But, yeah, whatever will be, will be.
But the explosion, the voices, they were yours.
Explosion? I'm not sure I follow.
Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Finn Dallas died in 8234. Cause of death, exploding still.
Ha ha. Look, I really don't know what you're talking about. Maybe...
Wait a second. What was that?
Can I get out of the chair?
Could have sworn I saw something moving over there. Oh shit!
What
Well, they got an arrow.
They've hit me, Finn. Those bastards.
Why am I still sitting down? There's flying arrows. I'm just like, yeah, whatever.
Carbos, do something, damn it!
Whoop. Completed. A new beginning.
Now would you look at that? Our mysterious survivor has awoken.
What? Where am I? Who are you? What is going on? Where are those other two? Who shot him?
Jaspar Matuniel Delveric. Jaspar for short. And you, my friend, are in my very own campsite. And before you ask, yes, the bandits killed both of the apothecary. The only reason you're still alive is that the impact of the explosion threw you right into a thicket. Luckily enough, most of your injuries are only superficial, and I've already taken care of them. Your fever, though, is an entirely different story.
What is with this fever? Well, that works. My fever. Do you know anything about it?
Quite a lot, actually. You're suffering from first-degree Arcanist's fever. I'm quite surprised that the old apothecarius didn't see that, to be honest. You're suddenly capable of doing things you previously knew only from the bard songs, right? And you're feeling unusually strong and dizzy at the same time? While drinking herbal potions leaves a, well, kind of a bitter feeling in your head?
Mm-hmm. It does, yes. And then this Arcanist fever is responsible for these things I can suddenly do.
Yep.
Magic.
Your magical talent has broken free inside you. I don't have any myself, but I've worked together with enough Arcanists to know the signs. Simply put, what's happening is that your body can't cope with the magic. This isn't much of a problem at first, but if you don't do anything about it, within the next couple of months, you'll find yourself running through the heartland naked, throwing fireballs at everything that moves. You'll lose your mind, to speak plain and all.
I'd kind of like to see that.
Yes, of course. Though someone who's magically gifted will always react differently to certain situations than someone who isn't. As I said, some herbs will always worsen your fever, as will magically contaminated areas.
Ah, that would be why the reason we were increasing in that one area.
Among other things, yes. Just as being magically gifted can make a person powerful, it can also make them sensitive and prone to certain conditions. Just don't overdo it sleeping in ruins or in the wilderness. Instead, set up a camp somewhere. Plus, as you've already said yourself, don't overdo it with potions.
And what happens if I do these things? How does the fever affect me exactly? How can I treat it with this grunt root extract?
What? No. That won't help you in the long run. What you need is ambrosia, a special mixture of herbs that can remedy the fever without any side effects. Every good alchemist has that in stock, but it'll cost you.
And what about these visions? Well, that's what I'd call them. I have these kind of premonitions of things which are about to happen.
No. Well, none that I know of. The only visions I ever had were those that come along with a good pipe of peaceweed.
Those are some good visions there.
Someone has to take care of
Peaceweed.
their fever. And as it happens, I know someone who could. But in return, I want you to tell me everything. How did you get here? What did you do in that temple? And what exactly did you see in those visions? I can't put my finger on it, but there's something strange about you. And that makes me curious. So, healing for information. What do you say?
Well, I guess I don't have much of a choice. Healing for information, great. Tell Jasper about what happened.
Then shoot. I'm eager to listen.
No, good. I don't have to select everything.
I understand. My condolences for your loss.
I really didn't know him that much, but okay.
It means you somehow survived this execution. And before you got washed ashore, you had this, this dream? In which you saw burnt bodies in a blinding light.
Yes, but it wasn't just a dream. It was more like a memory. And the temple I saw, and it was exactly the same as one in the valley. Do you know what I mean?
I hope so. So your magical outburst didn't happen slowly as it usually does, but all of a sudden after this near-death experience. And with it came these visions.
Correct.
Interesting. I guess you know how absurd all this must sound, but somehow I believe you. Heck knows why, but I do. So, that means I'll introduce you to my employer.
Employer?
If anyone can help you, it's him. There is, however, one thing with which I could use a hand. The sooner we get that done, the sooner we can start our journey to Ark.
What exactly is Ark?
The capital of this country? Walls high as towers of iron-hard stone, rest alone in the mountains and granite enthroned, never decaying, the ages surveying, guarded by the Lord, and blah 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 blah, and so on and so forth. If you plan on staying in this land, sooner or later you'll see it with your own eyes.
Do you have to make that little jingle with it? Gather knowledge about Enderal. Oh, okay, cool. Who is this employer of yours?
I like that. I work for the Holy Order.
Usually things like that don't mean good. The Holy Order? You mean the military unit of the gods?
Yes, but as you might know, this is the realm of Malphas, guardian of the Lightborn. And here, the Order basically reigns for him. It's both the spiritual and judicial center of this country, so believe me, you'll see for yourself soon enough.
What if I don't want to help you? And if I don't want to help you?
That's your call, I suppose. My curiosity is satisfied. But without me accompanying you, the guards won't let you into the Sun Temple in Ark. And that's where you need to go in order to treat your fever. But as I said, no hard feelings on my side if you want to play the lone wolf.
Well, looks like I don't have much of a choice on that end, so... Okay then, I'll help you. The faster I get rid of this fever, the better.
Splendid. There are some things that need some explanation before we can get started, however. Where should I start? I take it you've noticed that in the past 2.5 years, this world has fallen into political chaos, right? Civil wars, usurpers everywhere, you name it.
Yeah.
And even though Enderal isn't directly affected by these wars going on everywhere, there are strange things happening here too. Take the Woods-Ears, for example. There have been an unusual number of reports of wanderers being attacked by them in the open, which has never happened before. And the same goes for the Lost Ones, the living dead. Until 2 years ago, they were a rather rare magical phenomenon. But now every other corpse not properly cremated starts walking again as if it were the most natural thing to do.
Zombies.
The strangest thing, however, is what they call the Red Madness.
The Red
Yeah.
Madness?
It's some kind of mental illness that makes people lose their minds. Just a couple of weeks ago, for instance, there was a smith in Ark who slaughtered his entire family. He was drunk, but that doesn't explain why he screamed things like, "Fear the light," while he was doing it. Or a young noblewoman who killed herself by setting her family estate on fire for no apparent reason. Now, you might say that these kinds of things happen, but by now there have been more than a dozen of them. That and the fact that the possessed's eyes glow red shortly before and during their deed has made people call it the Red Madness. And just 3 days ago,
Daddy's
it
eyes were
happened
red.
again. Only this time it was a magister from within the Holy Order
But
itself.
that was a dream, wasn't it? Or was it? A magister?
Right, you're not from here. A magister is a kind of sage from the Holy Order who teaches the young novices who are aspiring to become keepers or arcanists. Yarrow was his name, a man who had more than 60 winners on his back.
What did he do?
He killed 15 novices and himself. According to the only eyewitness to survive, he entered the teaching room as usual to give a lecture on alchemy. But instead, he gave a strange speech in which he explained that humanity is corrupt, void, as he put it. And his eyes started glowing, he locked the door, and, well, he tore himself apart with a magical explosion. You can imagine the kind of uproar that caused.
Blazes, this is horrible.
And unnecessary. Completely unnecessary.
So what's your role in all this? You said you work for the Order, but I take it you're no monk.
Well, I'm not exactly one for vows and austerity, so no, I'm no keeper. I guess you could say my specialty is recovering things that have been lost. Treasures, tomes, memories, and the like. And the Order hired me to do exactly that. They want to know how a highly intelligent man like Yarrow could fall victim to the Red Madness. And also if there's a discernible pattern to how this malady, or whatever it is, chooses its victims.
In other words, you're searching for this, or for his motives. How could I help you with that? I don't know anything about this hero.
True, but that's irrelevant. Yarrow grew up in a small village named Riverville, which isn't far from here. And according to some of the other wardens, he visited this area quite often after his partner's death. So it's quite possible we could find some clues around here. Shards of his past, if you like. I've already searched most of the area, but a second pair of eyes wouldn't hurt. What do you think?
Sounds like a plan. Where should I start?
Well, for starters, I need you to travel to Riverville and talk to an old man named Alfred. He was a childhood friend of Yarrow's, and he might be able to tell us something worthwhile. Secondly, a boy from the village told me that he saw Yarrow throw something into the water near a cliff to the east. Go there and see if you can find whatever it was he wanted to get rid of. I myself will have a look at the house Yarrow grew up in. Here, this is a map of the region. The blue dot over here is Yarrow's old house. And at the risk of sounding heartless, you should head back to the apothecary's camp. Maybe the bandits left behind some equipment. If there's nothing else, I'd say off we go. Let's shed some light on this Yarrow and his motivations. Meet me at his old house when you're ready. I'll be waiting there.
If a quest objective is marked by 1 or more stars, they indicate the difficulty of said quest, and at the same time, the level you should have for the quest. Easy, or very easy, easy, medium, hard, blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Huh?
Okay. Not really getting into the reading. Oh, maybe I should have read that. We'll read it again later.
Never walk back on the road from
Pumpkin plant.
aged man's abode. Blazes.
Okay. Map. Resting place. Pretty big land. Of course, not as big as Skyrim, but I mean, this is a mod, so of course it's not going to be that big. Okay, cool.
Sorry. I know. I can't sing.
Well, you seem to carry the tune pretty good, so I think you're good on that end. Items. I thought I had a shield. I guess not. I'm also currently playing Skyrim as well, too, separate. I'm not recording now. There's been a million different things of that done. So, yeah. I'll probably get things confused here and there. Controls, stuff like that, because I'm trying to keep this one the way it is without mapping it or anything.
Enemies, watch out.
Aren't you just a little fancy with your daggers there? Now, good pipe. I like you, Jasper. I like you. Like you very much. We'll have a pipe later. Let's go find that apothecary's camp. I'm assuming it's this way since this is where we were traveling earlier. Old damn lookout discovered. Oh, man, there's the camp. Bandit! They were trying to help me! Alright, let's see what you get. Iron gauntlets, I'll take lockpick. Longbow, I think's better than mine. Old iron arrows. Old beggared boots. Dress, I don't think those are any better than mine. Probably should save things for, like... This Carlos already stripped him of his clothes. Badge of the apothecary. Iron sword. What was my sword? That's an old sword. 413. 4. I'll take that one. Where'd the other guy go? Kingsmead. Spelltome. Need of something that I'm not going to attempt to pronounce. Static loot. Oh, Finn. There he is. Ambrosia. Badge of the apothecary. Put a longbow. You can have my brittle longbow. Sharp steel arrows. Am I missing anything? Oh, peaceweed. Thistle. Thistle. Peaceweed. Peaceweed. I think that be it. Sorry this happened to you, fellas. Really do appreciate what you did for me. Map. Okay, I'm assuming this will take me over to the areas I'm needing to. If not, I mean, if we just roam around, then we roam around. So be it. Alright, no, this is going to take me back to that area, so we'll come back up here. There was another road around to the side, I believe. Jeez, Arcane Favor Rose. The 40%. Let's go on the old damn lookout. Okay, I'm going to just get my torch and try to that way so we can see a little bit better, but also try to avoid using some of these healing spells. Bellows, iron ore, I'll take that. Leather stripes, leather stripes. Hammer. I don't think those are would be used for anything. I could be wrong. Spare parts. Spare parts. Spare parts. Nails, nails. Plane. Iron dagger. Chisel. You know what? We'll just take it. We'll take one. Those tongs. Well, I'll just take everything. If I become over encumbered, I will get rid of loot and stuff, but good to have things to sell, even if it is really measly amount. But basket, I ain't taking a basket. Use traps and oil puddles to damage enemies before they detect you. Burn, spiders! Stand them as low.